Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. And if you're new to the channel, you just landed here, I'm really happy that you're here. I hope you like what you see. Please hit that like and subscribe button. My existing subscribers, thank you so very much for your support. And my members, appreciate you to the fullest. I'm a little on pins and needles today, you all. I'm gonna go get straight to it today with the reading. So my last reading, I think I wound up last week. We looked at AOC and her bid for the top position, Democratic position on the House Oversight Committee. It was looking really good. Cards were flowing out. You know, the energy was looking really positive. I even whipped out one of my pendulums over here, and the pendulum gave us a yes. And then yesterday we hear that the steering committee, which is made up of the old guard, right? Nancy Pelosi's folk, came out with a vote of 34 to 27 against AOC and in favor of 74-year-old Jerry Connolly, who has been diagnosed, many of you have already heard, been diagnosed with esophageal cancer. So the idea, wishing him the absolute best, that's tough, and we want to see him prevail for sure. Well-liked guy, gregarious Bostonian, but still facing a really serious health battle. Is he really the person, 74 years old, health battle? Is he the person to put in charge of the top position in for Democrats on the House Oversight Committee? Like, it's not even making sense. But the day that I did the reading on AOC early that morning, and then later that day the news came out about Nancy Pelosi falling and breaking her hip in Luxembourg, Germany. But apparently they say she's still on the phone. She's still been working the system. Oh, this just feels like such a mistake if this doesn't go her way. I'm taping this about 7 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning, before the vote. It actually goes before the caucus. The vote on AOC or Connolly goes before the caucus later today. So by the time I load this video, the news will have broken one way or another how the vote went. AOC was on social media last night saying, "Don't give up. I'm fighting this good fight. Let's just stay in this. Let's stay prayerful. It's not over yet." Really sending out a strong message. So I want to look at her, but I also want to look at Kamala Harris on January 6th. We're all still very hopeful. We know these energies are fluid, and even readings like this, where we go to spirit, myself and many other, readers on this platform, these energies are fluctuating. There is no hard and fast, boom, fate, destiny, here's what's gonna happen. Because what happens is, I'll speak for myself. When I go to spirit on a question in this moment, spirit's going to give me, the guides are going to give me the energies as they're moving, it's kinetic, like as it's moving, as it appears, right? But if something comes up on the back end, and unless I say, will something come up on the back end to destroy this energy or change it, the answer to my question is going to be on what's happening in that moment. So I do want to be clear about that. This is so much of this is, this is about what is possible. This is about what could happen. This is about tendencies. But we always have the people who are impacted or are part of the situation. They're moving behind the scenes. And, they can influence the energies one way or another, i.e. that takes us back to Nancy Pelosi and this whole establishment, you all. I want to look at AOC, and I want to go back. I don't do this often. I don't typically go back and repeat, but I just feel like this is crucial. There's a lot on the line in terms of the signaling for the Democratic Party and its willingness to change, adapt, and revamp moving forward. So we have the Page of Coins, things moving slower than anticipated. And I hope that doesn't mean that she's got to wait. there were some people in response to the vote from the steering committee coming online saying, well, no worries, she's only 35, and even if she doesn't get it this time, no doubt she's a rising star and she will get it. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm sure many of you don't disagree with that. But like, is that the point in this moment in time that we're living in? Spirit, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Will she win the vote today? Will she win the vote for that position as head of the oversight committee? King of Cups, Biden. I feel like that's Biden, or that could even be someone else on the in the House Oversight Committee that may be trying to help her. I feel like that's somebody who's trying to help her. Eight of Wands, it's happening. Speed, swiftness, it's happening today. Will she be victorious? The Tower. I want to go a little deeper. And the Hermit, going back to square one, thinking it through. I'm going to ask it this way. Spirit, what will Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as AOC we call her, what will her energy be like at the end of today? How will she be feeling at the end of today? Will she be feeling victorious, celebratory, or will she be in a different mindset? What will be her mindset at the end of today, Tuesday, December 17th? What will be her mindset? How will she be feeling at the end of today? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. How will she be feeling at the end of today? Six of Cups. Five of Coins. Five of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles. You all, this is really a nail biter. I still feel that she has a chance, but something swung, and I hesitate to even give. I'm so disappointed in her. I hesitate to give Nancy Pelosi that much credit. But I also think there's a lot of self-preservation here. I read some quotes from people unidentified. Of course, they didn't want to come out and identify themselves, but who said, well, if we do this, if we vote for, excuse me, if we vote for AOC, we're going to upset so many on the steering committee. We're going to upset so many of the establishment Dems that it could impact my odds or my chances at committee appointments. Self-preservation. Death. Damn it. I hope I'm wrong. This is one I just would not mind getting on here later and going, woo, don't know what y'all did. Don't know what kind of prayers you all put up. But yeah, don't be something happened behind the scenes. And this is not just Pelosi, although she certainly holds sway clearly with so many of that old establishment. But there were people in that establishment that were backing her as of AOC as of last week. There was such momentum, and something shifted, and I think it is self-preservation over and above the cause of the party, giving the party a new platform, giving it some fresh air, allowing and making way for these new leaders. So many of whom we are getting excited about. And we have not seen the last of them one way or another. But man, I hope something shifts. They say that prayer changes things. And I sure hope something shifts between later in the day when they take that vote. But just be prepared, all right? I guess we all got to be prepared. All right, I also want to take a look at Kamala Harris. She and Joe Biden, many of you heard, they had the Democratic National Committee, I think, holiday soiree. and they made an appearance together. And, Joe said to Kamala, it ain't over for you. Like, you ain't, or I think more accurately, he said, you aren't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. Now, some of us took that as oh, okay. So, this may be what we're not hearing about, some investigations into the election fraud, whatever. Like, it hasn't come public yet, but there's still time. Clock is ticking though, y'all. It's here we are tipping into the end of December. I want to take a look at Kamala Harris on January 6th. Today, the 17th, is when the states are all meeting in their state capitals, to the electors, to announce their verdict, announce their elections, and then they'll send that to Congress, I guess it is. And I see a lot of tension. I did a reading on that as well. Saw a lot of tension, a lot of arguing, a lot of, I don't know that it'll necessarily be held up, that somebody's gonna, some of the states won't actually produce. In fact, I have a sense that they will, but it will not be easy, and it is not, it will not be without still a lot of questions remaining about the efficacy of how the votes took place, and all the questions that have been raised around the count. Like, how was this victory declared so quickly? And you all know, you're very aware. So I want to take a look. I'm sorry for that. There's landscapers outside. I'm sorry if you're getting some interference in the background. I'll try and wrap this up. But I want to take a look at Kamala Harris on January 6th. Because if this is not going the way we want it to go, then she would, horror of horrors, she would be the person, as the head of the Senate, to have to certify that vote on January 6th, right? When they're revealed from the states. Woo! All right, so let's take a look at Kamala Harris on January 6, 2025. Kamala Harris on January 6, 2025. Spirit, what will be her state of mind, her state of being? Kamala Harris, January 6, 2025. Kamala Harris, January 6, 2025. We have the King of Pentacles acting in a responsible manner is how that feels for me. Two of Swords, the Chariot, the decision to move forward, the Star moving forward in hope. Two cards just came, Justice, and the Seven of Swords. And also Justice representing her as a Libra. We know that she's a Libra. And coming with Libra also rules the 7th house, and Seven of Swords. I feel like there's some connection there. The Chariot and the Star came right together back to back as well. Hope for the future, and being ready to move on. Despite the lie, Spirit, will Kamala be trying to move past what she knows is the lie and still do her job, moving ahead towards the future, because that's her frame of mind. I'm moving past this. Is that what you're showing me? Is she going to certify Two of Cups, the will of the people, King of Swords, Gemini, Trump, and the Ten of Pentacles, the will of the people again, and the actual casting of the or counting, announcing the certifying the electoral votes. Nine of Pentacles and Judgment. So full circle. I tell you, Spirit, what will Kamala Harris be doing after Jan 6? Or the month the month of January. By the end of January, what will Kamala Harris be doing by the end of January? Show us Kamala Harris by the end of January 2025. Kamala Harris at the end of January 2025. Kamala Harris at the end of January 2025. At the end of January 2025, what will Kamala Harris be? Where will she be? What will she be doing? What will her energy be? End of January 2025. Nine of Wands. Tired. Still working really diligently to figure out her next moves. So I don't know, you all. This is not Queen of Swords. That's her in another phase. I see her as Justice or Queen of Swords, Libra. Ten of Wands coming on top of that Nine of Wands. Two of Coins. I feel like that's her and Doug working together. And the Ten of Swords. Yikes. Ten of Cups, her family. And the Six of Pentacles, her next opportunities. I don't like it. I don't like it any more than many of you do. And I'm still, like many of you, I'm going to keep the faith. I'm going to continue to, as AOC said last night, keep the faith and keep our prayers going. Because one way or another, you all, change is upon us. We're entering into this Pluto and Aquarius transit. There's so many other things like these, the Gen Zers and the Gen Xers even, they're not going anywhere. This is a movement that will continue. And even though the powers that be, for instance, what AOC is up against right now and we're witnessing with her, it is not going to go anywhere. It is not going to stop. It's not going to go anywhere. So we have to keep the faith. We have to keep the faith no matter what. The last thing I want to look at, oh, my deck got turned around. Last thing I want to look at, you all, so many of us are like, what is going on with these drones? We're hearing, there's so many different theories going back and forth. The government knows, the government doesn't know. Maybe everybody just needs to start, using their Second Amendment rights and taking matters into their own hands, which, people are like, well, wait, don't do that. That could be actual aircraft, planes or something in the air. Like let's not do anything drastic. But I think right now my guides are just saying, let's check in and determine. I'm going to tell you what I'm getting intuitively from the guides. And I don't want this to come across like yet another add-on to the conspiracy theories. But, okay, let's think about this. What do drones do? Drones give access to incredible visuals from a different vantage point, right? So is there, and the idea that they started, even though they've spread out around the Northeast, but they started near this military base, if I'm not mistaken, in Jersey, right? So what's the point of that? It almost feels like there's some sort of, and what the government did say, one of the announcements I heard yesterday was there was this combination of both. Some of the drones are governmental, some of them are law enforcement, local law enforcement, some of them are personal, just people doing their things with drones. There was this, they're coming from everywhere, being used by some of everybody. So there wasn't some sort of concerted thing or reason why they're being flown. I also, though, my guides are saying, look, could this be something that is getting people to become accustomed to the presence of drones in general without raising alarm, Oh, it's just the drones again. We've seen it before. We know that. And if that is the case, Three of Swords, it is causing worry and consternation among people. I think that's what Spirit is showing. That's the energy of it right now. Six of Pentacles and the world. An opportunity to see the world from a vantage point. So I will say this. Yes, could some of this be extraterrestrial? Never going to count that out because we've heard so much about that as well, coming to the fore in the age of AI, Pluto and Aquarius, that we probably are going to become more aware of activity, UFOs, etc. But I'm not sure that that's what's happening in this present moment. I'm I'm just going to come right out and say it. Is this connected to visual, having a visual tab on people, the Empress, the growth of this as a tool? Because we know the Empress represents growth. That's one of her representations in the context of this political reading. Yes, that's growth. So the growth of it almost being a standard thing, or the expectation that 7 of coins. How do we continue to grow this as a mechanism to keep an eye, to use it as surveillance? And I feel like I keep wanting to bite back this question, because I have such a distaste for this if it's the case. But is this being considered as a means to take a view on immigrants or populations within communities? The Lovers. I'm telling you all, that's the High Priestess in secret and the Page of Wands. I'm not saying this is 100% for sure, but I am saying that I do feel like there's something here, you all, where in order, remember, if there is going to be a concerted effort regarding mass deportations, how are you going to get visuals on where people are? And could drones be a part of that? One of those tools that are used. Knight of Cups, the movement, seeing it as something new. Page of Swords, how to communicate, looking for different ways to locate and communicate. And the Chariot. Again, the Chariot. Another tool to be able to move. Is this around deportations? King of Wands. I feel like that's Vance, JD Vance, because he's going to have a lot to do with these deportations. Again, caveat, if a miracle does not happen between now and January, or even the early months. We've seen some changes coming, unexpected changes, and anything is possible. All of this is so volatile, but we haven't, no matter what happens, I know that we haven't seen the last of JD Vance. He's a Leo. I do see him as the King of Wands. Oh, and I just pulled the Sun. Yeah, that's him. Leo ruled by the Sun and the Chariot. That's the mission. They're not going to let go of that mission, because that was part of all of those promises that were made to the MAGA base, of course. The economy and immigration. Those were two of the absolute, biggest topics. Not going to be able to deliver on the economy. We've already seen signs of that, right? Oh, we're certainly delivering on it for the billionaire class, the rich, but the working class, those who really place their faith in all of that that they were being sold. Yeah, that's going to come back to bite, and soon. All right, you all. This reading did not tickle, but I feel like I'm not one to run from the truth. And I feel like that's part of my service to you all on this platform, is whether I like it or not on a personal level. I think that I've always believed in us, and I always will, that information is power, knowledge is power. Yes, the knowledge fluctuates in a spiritual capacity, because it's not just me and my guides, or me and you sitting in this moment drilling down on things. It's a whole subset of other people who are putting things into play. And so our thing is to stay abreast, stay on top of, continue to examine, continue to stay supportive of one another, and make sure that we continue to be vigilant in deciding for ourselves that no matter what, we are a part of this country. We're going to remain a part of this country, and a part of its fabric, and a part of its future. All right? Okay. I appreciate you all so very much. Take really good care, and I'll check back with you a little later in the week, probably Wednesday, Thursday. All right? Be good. Bye.